Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity given us to serve for you as city council. Help us to do your will. Help us work out for you and this city and the things we do for you in life. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America,
and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm gonna get Lewis to come here. I work with Lewis on the intermodal board, and it's 7 county now.
7 counties, yeah.
And and on that board, Rex Lawrence, for those of you who remember Rex, was mainly the main gun that got the sawmill back over. And he worked diligently on the board for several years, and we appreciate all Rex did for Glenwood. And I'm gonna let Lewis, since he's the president of the Intermodal Association, I'm gonna let him do the presentation.
Yeah, back about, I think it was like '07, somewhere in there, you guys probably remember better than I do, but I was sitting at Center Point, and a sawmill shut down, and instantly, I think within about 4 or 5 months, we lost 75 students. That was a lot of money, school budget, that's not counting the tax base. And so, there was 5 of us, and we got together, we heard a little bit about an intermodal group that could actually help recruit and get some grants and things, and you had to be at least 2 counties where you could be regional. So we got together. Rex was one of the first charter members, and 5 of us, and we kind of copied some other intermodal boards, bylaws, and met with Clark County, and our intermodal board started with Pike and Clark County, and I think we actually formed and became card carrying or legal, or what are you going to say, we applied to the state, became a full-fledged intermodal board in 2009, and Rex from that day forward, well, I think it was the first 5 years, he was our president, he was our chairman, and he kind of conned me into do it. One day I show up from, actually we're getting ready to re-elect officers, and he asked me, he said, would you mind, I forgot who the vice president was, but he was going to officer, would you mind being vice president? And, well, I guess, I'm thinking the vice president has to, step in if the president misses, but Rex never missed a meeting or anything. Well, I get to the meeting, and Rex has decided to talk to everybody that he's going to become vice president. Let me just step on into being president. So that's kind of how I got to this. So I've been the president for 11 years now, and we've grown, and we've got 7 different counties, and what it is, it's the county judges and most of the mayors in each county, plus an appointed out of each county, and I'm actually the appointed out of Montgomery County, which is where I live. And like Billy said, Rex, man, he spent countless hours, countless dollars running up down the road and talking to people on phone calls, and he met over and over and over and helped with all the things that went on here with the sawmill. And honestly and truly, I feel if it hadn't been for him, this mill may not even be open right now. You just can't believe the legislative contacts that he made and all the things. And so we wanted to honor him. He, as you know, we lost him this last year, and this says in memory of Rex Lawrence in recognition for service as a charter board member since 2010-2024. And I guess we actually started in '09, but 10, I guess, is probably when they actually put the date down as us beginning as an intermodal board. And what charter member means is you're one of the very first original board members, and not only was he one of the first, he was the board for a long time. So, Ms. Lawrence, you come forward, I would like to say this to you. And thank you for all the time that you have given up for him to come with us, and
County and Glenwood. A couple of council people have to be on that board, and at least one person from each of those entities is supposed to be on that board. And basically, tonight, we're just gonna run through, where the water department, what we're doing in process. We've got a new councilman, we've got a new recorder treasurer, and I wanted to let y'all know, I'll run over what we're doing right now. So, in water, we're just gonna go over each piece of major equipment and where we're at on what we're working on. On the intake structure, we've got to get in contact with the stream team. We're having the river changing channels up there where our intake structure is, and that project has not yet started, nor has stream team been down here to look at us with it. There's problems, of those of you who know the river, it's moving quite a bit around here in Glenwood, and that should be some grant money, and help on that. The city have to participate in that pretty heavy, as our drain plan comes up. So that's number one. The next part of the water intake water system is the pumps that pump from the river. As y'all know, we're transitioning the water plant from a 1 million gallon a day plant to 2 million gallon a day plant. Right now, with both pumps running up the river, we don't get 1 million gallons of water a day. We have one new pump ordered with VFDs for both pumps and transducers, so if there's something that goes on in that wet well, it'll shut the pumps down instead of burn them up. And we have one new 40-horse, 2 million gallon a day pump ordered to pump. The motor's in, we're waiting on the pump. That will be installed with the VFDs and transducers when it gets here. Both pond pumps are 1 million a gallon a day, and will eventually need to be upgraded to 2 million gallons a day. One of those was upgraded 6 years ago, but it was left at 1 million gallons a day. But both those pumps will need to be 2 million gallons a day. And the other river pump has been rebuilt one time, and so right now all the city's going to do is upgrade one to 2 million, and then if something happens to that other one, we'll upgrade it to 2 million at that time. And you know, if we're pumping in the capacity right now, the water system runs, this time of year, we're running about 1.1 million gallons a day. We've got the plant upgraded to 1.4 million gallon a day plant. We had filters re-rated. After I became mayor, we had the filters re-rated, and we're 1.4 million gallon a day plant now. But we were in violation, and it's triggered some stuff as we go on down. The clarifier, as we speak right now, we've got the motor that turns the clarifier is out. We have the bearings finally came in. It took over 5 months to get the bearings, and they're rebuilding the shaft right now, and hopefully that work will be completed within the next 2 or 3 weeks. We're making fine. The way we're doing it, it's making us have to backwash more because the filters are having to do more of the work than the clarifier. We're backwashing, instead of backwashing every 4 days, we're backwashing every 2 days. So that'll help us, because that's finished water we're backwashing with. That'll help us quite a bit there. Sand filters, we're going to put in we got a grant to do that project in the government Build Back Better money, and that is $3,754,575. It's not, not a grant, it's a loan with 75% forgiveness money. So once we do the project, we will take the loan out for the $3 million, if that's what it comes in bid, it hasn't been bid yet, the $3,754,575, whatever, when it's actually bid and comes in, we'll take the full loan amount out for that, and immediately upon completion, the state will pay $2,815,000, $931.23 of that back if those numbers stay. Whatever that is, it's 75% forgiveness. The high service pumps are both already at 2 million gallons a day. For those of you who don't know, we had both motors went down this year. So we had a new motor that's been put on about 3 years ago. Those pump motors usually last indefinitely. We had one go down, we put a new motor on about 2.5 years ago, and we had another one that went down. So we have 2 new motors, and now we've got the spare rebuilt and back. So we now have 3 high service motors, that's not pumps, but motors. We're written up on our sanitary survey on chlorine. The plan ever since it's been built has had chlorine in the main building. Health department's written us up, you can't have chlorine in the main building, so we're either gonna have, we've looked at the price of putting a fiberglass chlorine room out in front of the plant at a cost of around $200,000, and we're now in contact with, I haven't bought this to see, because we're trying to find out if the health department should have no problem with us going to liquid gas. If we go to liquid, our THHN would be down. The cost of running liquid against bottled gas like we're doing right now is about $8 a day more, but that's never going to recover a $200,000 expense. And to drop the THHNs down will help both the city, and it will help Norman and North Pike County meet their standards. Health Department has basically said that will be successful, but we're in the talking process of that. At Mary Street Tank, we're gonna put vaults in, the vaults are here, and move all of our transducers in the ground, so freezing weather, as all you guys know, transducers are a pain in the rear on you in freezing weather. They freeze, lost contact with the tank, and it seems like every year they freeze, so we're going to put transducers in the ground, and they'll also be able to put metering there for leak detection. That strap-on meter will come off and go back on if you're looking for leaks, but it's mainly to get the transducers in the ground. Industrial Park, there's already a vault at Industrial Park. We're going to move the transducers into the vault, same reason. Burnham Mountain Tank, we're going to move transducers, same thing as Mary Street. And Keaton Mountain will also be the same thing. We're trying to get all the transducers in the ground so we don't have a freezing problem. When you freeze, you've lost communication with the tank. You can't feel what you have no idea where you are. So we're trying to get those done. Salem Tank's going to be the same thing. Twin Bridges Pump Station, we have the new disconnect box in. It's $3,950. It's not installed yet. We don't have a generator at that station, and we're trying to get it where you got a manual switch disconnect, and our guys can hook it up. We've got a portable generator we can take and move it there, and that would also be true at Hilltop, except we've done more work at Hilltop. But we're going to put manual disconnects at both pump stations, and that way we can have it where when electricity goes up. In the last year that's not on here, we also put VFDs at all the pump stations, so we've already done this. Last year we ran out of water, we had VFDs installed, they were already in, and we're able to run on VFDs without tanks. So if we have a major leak again, like we did, that's why we were able to recover faster than the year before. We turn the tanks off and run on VFDs, just straight on pressure, and get everybody back in water, and then if we get water built up, we start filling our tanks again. But all of our pump stations are VFDs, except one, and they're ordered for it. Both Hilltop and Twin Bridges. We had rocks get into one of our pumps at Hilltop Pump Station. At a cost of about $25,000. We put a brand new 50-horse 3-stage pump in. It's a much more efficient pump, so we have that new pump has been replaced at Hilltop. Kennedy Pump Station, on our sanitary survey, the city's not been using that. Those pumps were upgraded, and you can't run them because they're too fast. They overpressure the system when we start blowing people's lines off, pressure valves off at their houses. So we're going to put VFDs on those, and those pumps will be ramped up by pressure and be able to run that. That's a backup pump station to Twin Bridges. And the equipment's all in for that. It's just got to be installed. It's all in. You can see the cost we spent on that so far is $9,000 there, and it's got to be installed. And that will not have, we won't gonna put a generator at that, because that's a backup pump station. You're on two different electrical planes there, and if Twin Bridges electricity goes off, hopefully, we won't have to move that generator, we can turn the other pump station on. It will not pump as fast, but we can get by. Also, at the, bridge, the city had, when they built the bridge there near the city, it took out a loan, and that project on American Rescue Fund money, this year, we got 50% of that back, which is $108,849.75. Now, there's two American Rescue Fund monies. If you look over here in sewer, we spent a lot of money rebuilding the sewer system because it had lots of problems. In the 605 rate study, all of this loan, as well as the loan for the sewer, was in a rate study already. So you're gonna look a bunch of money that we've done on maintenance coming up, NT maintenance in the water compared to what you're gonna see in the sewer here. And I'll go over that next. I'm gonna go over all the lift stations on the next page is next. Both cemetery lift stations have been changed to submerged pumps. That was actually going on under past administration and did not get finished. It is finished now. So you got two new submerged pumps there, so that station's completely rebuilt. Fishnest lift station, our pumps were fine, but all of our rotating assemblies were wore out. So, and all of our electrical in that building was shot. So that building's been completely rewired, VFDs put on, and then the pumps have been completely rebuilt, and they were rebuildable, so those pumps have been rebuilt. Mud Lake, we put two new controllers and two new pumps in there. When I got here, we had pumps running 24 hours a day, not pumping any water. I got to looking, and the pump housings, some of these pump housings are 40 years old. They wore out. They weren't rebuildable, so you're going to see a lot of replacement on that. Glenwood Country Club, that pump station is working fine. There's been nothing done to it. The Caney Creek pump station, we have not got, it's going to have a new wet well and see where it goes from there. We have not got that work done. In the industrial park, we have one pump out at this time, and got a new pump on order. The pump is actually in, but we're going to have to completely rebuild everything in that wet well. It's laid out, so all the railing and all that's got to be redone. The pump is in though, we have it here. 70 West pump station out here across the bridge. We were able to rebuild one pump in it and had to replace one pump, so that's what was spent there. Right, pump station has been, those pumps have been in about, what, Chris, 7 years? Maybe longer than that. We had those pulled in service and everything seems to be all right on those. Still good pump station, call it Dr. Carpenter's house up here, that pump station up there. Those are 3-inch pumps, both were gone, single phase electricity. We put 3-phase motors on with VFDs and the pumps, and those have all been complete. That pump station is completely rebuilt. We've got to get heaters back in for the winter. Twinkle pump station, both of those pump stations were put in new when they were built. First 10 years ago, and last one 5 years ago. And transportation number 1 has been completely rebuilt since then, and we have not looked at nor touched those yet since I've been here. The sawmill lift station, we've got the new pump put in it and new controls, and we've got to go back up there. We've got the pump that was put in by another company, wasn't put in, not holding together right or something. We've got to get pulled and all of it put back together and put back in and reinstalled, and we've got all the parts ordered for that, and that's going in. Davis pump station, I have not looked at yet, and it's got problems. I'm not sure what that's got to be. Dollar pump station, we put one new pump in and rebuilt one pump. Put 3-phase motors on that, so we put variable drive. The pumps, they say, are not pumping clean enough to keep them clean, so the VFDs will start slow, ramp up faster, and that pump station has VFDs on it. At the bar screen, at the sewer plant, we'll be adding a new float switch. When that bar screen was installed, it was put on timers, not flow, which makes no sense. You've got a bar screen running with no water coming in, or you've got water coming in, and we're putting it on float switches. Our grip chamber just needs to be cleaned out. The racetrack had all kinds of problems. It's a 50-year-old, the racetrack's 50 years old, has had no major work done to it since it's been built. So all the paddle wheels on it are all new, all the gates on it, 3/16 stainless, it's all been painted. Spent $205,000 on it, $172. The number one clarifier was down when I got here as mayor and had to be completely rebuilt. We spent $122,528 on that. Hang on, that's the one we just got turned on. That was running and it fell in. All the steel fell apart down on the turntable and locked it up. It is now back in service, the number one. Number three was one that wasn't working when I got here. The number two clarifier, all the parts are here, all the metal's bent, it's ready, it is taken apart, and is ready, the concrete's ready to be painted, then all the other, metal on it, the walkway and all that's gotta be painted, and it's ready to be put back together. It is out of service today. The number three clarifier, all this stuff's fixed, but you know what, it's fixed. The number three clarifier was completely rebuilt. We spent $326,145 on it. Everything in it was replaced.
Still running?
Yes, it's running fine. The digester, it had to have $2,000 worth of work on it, and it's in good shape. The RAS pumps down there, they're working fine. They've not done anything to them. The drying beds, for those of you who have never worked at the sewer plant, well, drying beds to dry our sludge with. It's raining today, we've got drying beds full of sludge. So that now they're getting that cleaned out and getting it back dry. So it's impossible almost. It's just a nightmare. The city decided to order what's called a dewatering box from Flowtrend. They have 50% down payment on it. They're making that box as we speak. It'll take off 20 yards of sludge at a time, and we can dewater and dry sludge 365 days a year. We can't, once it starts rainy season, the way we are, we can't dry sludge. This will make us where we can dry sludge year round, and then we don't have to handle it again. The biggest thing is labor saving. The sludge goes in it dewaters, returns back to the plant, and it goes straight to the landfill. We don't pick it back up, we don't do anything with it. When that box gets here, it's gonna be, it's big time saving. Any of you ever had to clean a drying bed, they're no fun to clean. The chlorine room has been completely repainted. You pump back in it, 300-gallon tanks put back in it. It's all back in service. We're written up on our sewer permit group, and the council went to a meeting in Little Rock with AEQ. All the council was up there. Johnny wasn't on the council at the time, so the three that were on the council and I went. The EPA lady looked at me and she said, "You can't pass the standard we got you written up on. You're going to have to put UV light in. So take you, we're going to get, they haven't got it back to us, take what administrative or whatever we're going to call it. You got 3 years to get UV in, you won't be in violation." She said, "You will pass." She said, "It's impossible for the city of Glenwood to pass. You can't have zero chlorine and zero coli leaving the plant. We know that. It's just too close a standard." But that's what federal law has changed to, because they want everybody else to discharge them with chlorine for your treatment. They want to go to UV. Norman's already on UV. Glenwood's not. We have a grant application in for $500,000, and they basically said, sign the agreement you're going to send back with us, but they don't have it tonight because they're not through with that and have it back to us. The council has met with them in Little Rock, and we're waiting on that. New permits come back right now. We don't have a permit for us. It's expired, but everything's in AEQ's hands, and they got to get So, that's where we're on that. Post there, there's not been but one blower that's worked in that for 25 years. The second blower for post there, pump is ordered. It should be in pretty quick. The fluent is fine. All of the hop equipment that does your metering is turned back on and working now. It was all turned off when I got there. The hardest administrative order we're gonna get back, you can't do your own lab testing. City said they were doing their own lab testing, and city can't do its own lab work. Sorry, we can't do it. Anyway, all the hop equipment is back on and working. All the new telemetry to put the plant where it's automated so an operator can do most of the work from his phone at home at night. So that plant has to be adjusted. It's ordered. Most of it is in and paid for. None of it is installed yet, so we get all the major work done. And they're going to get that installed. We have a loan application approved with the Build Back Better money for $4,383,515. And right now, that's at a 1 3/4% interest loan. All the work we did financing last year has got us in position to accept these loans this year to get the water plant in compliance and the sewer plant. The problem with our sewer plant is our infiltration, and this $4 million will get approximately 50,000 feet of main replaced and all the manholes associated with it. Then in the American Rescue Fund, on the project we did at the bridge, that was done at the bridge before I got mayor, it was completed, we were able to apply for that money, and they turned it down on the first round. We gave the water 50/50. They come back, told me the other day, and the council's gonna vote on it, and then I hope they're happy with me. I signed the paperwork to get started.
That's a big deal, it's a big deal on the loop for nearly 600,000.
Yeah, you're gonna get $470,829 for that money back, and we'll have to pay that back to the highway department. We have a zero interest loan, so we'll have to pay this back. But then that's already in a rate structure. That and the other $108,000. That's in our rate structure right now. All the work we had to do to get everything up to date, you're almost gonna come close to cover it. Won't cover it all, but it's gonna be a big help. The next thing on our Act 605 rate study, we're complete with that. But now they've come back in and threw a stipulation in, we won't have to have a rate study redone, but you're gonna have to list every single item. On every foot of pipe, every valve, every pump, everything in the system is gonna have to be inventoried. And it'll be done on our next rate study. We'll put it in this rate study. And we're working on that because we've got all the buildings reinsured. The buildings weren't insured for, what we have, $3 million worth of insurance on everything the city had, and we got $20 million now. Because we've reinsured everything to the, and going through the municipal league, we're not spending more money than we were doing buying on a policy from companies in town. But we're covered on that, so we've got all that done. The building prices are there. We've got to get the pipe prices. Of every foot of pipe we got in the ground, you're not going to get that exact, but you got to get, it's like the gentleman with the rate study and engineer said, the closer you get that, the better off it's going to be for somebody 20 years down the road, because if you've been given false numbers and have false water rates, it's not going to be pleasant on somebody on the future rate study. So we did not do that on our Act 605 study when they did it, because it wasn't required. They're now coming back, Tim, I think you said they're making, North Pike is in the process of getting their study done, and y'all are going to have to do that now. Is that correct, Tim? So it's not something new, it's something, all right. Does anybody have any questions on our water and sewer? That is a quick synopsis of a year and a half I've been here, and where we are. And we're looking at every piece of equipment we got and trying to get everything up to speed. We still have leaks that we got to get found, that are not all found. We know we got leaks in the system out there. But I've had so much other major work I had to do. don't have a pump station running, it don't matter whether I got a leak or not. Of course, if I got too many leaks, it ain't gonna matter if I got a pump station running, not either. So we just tried to weigh the balances of what was the worst thing to get fixed first. And we've come a long way. We've got a lot of this work complete. It's not all complete, we've got a lot of it complete.
How much is the leaking?
We're still losing probably 30%. Way, 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 way. It's not anything you can time easily. We're fixing the leaks, the little leaks, and we find them, we're fixing them. We've been fixing a lot of leaks.
Do you feel like you have adequate valving to where you can isolate leaks?
If we could find them, we'd get them fixed. No. On the proper valving, we probably need some valving, but, and that's not gonna stop you from fixing the leak. You have to fix it hot if we find it. But if we found the major leak, we'd already had it fixed. We're just not finding any of the major leaks. We're finding a lot of little leaks, and we're already getting some of those fixed. And I've been trying to get staff hired, help me do that, and every time I get up to staff, one of them quits. And, the city has bought the equipment to check the leak detection with, and we've used it some. We're not using it every day. I'd love to have a man on doing the leak work every day. I'm not there.
Well, we're having that 30%, just to clarify what we're having to pay the same amount we're processing, going through all our motions, it's just like, we're like throwing out, 30% of your Coca-Cola and then trying to make money off of it. Is that kind of how it is?
Yes, sir. We've got to get the leak, you're never gonna get rid of all the leaks, but you don't need to go over 10%. We're nowhere near there. But I've got to get other stuff done. Hopefully, we're getting some stuff done, so we're getting a bunch of the major stuff done, and
We were close to 50%, though, weren't we?
over.
You were over.
We're almost, yeah, we're up there.
The reason I asked about valving, it allows you to isolate where you, makes it easier.
We can get down in most areas. The biggest problem we're gonna have is not a rural area. We got valves and all that. It's the old part of town, and the old part of town is all cross-connected by design. So you cut off that valve, and you gotta cut off 4 more to get that section isolated, and those may or may not have been put in. They may have just hooked the line in and run it together, get the pressure flow up on the line. Some of that we know where it's, some of that we don't. We got First Street fixed, which helped us a bunch. And First Street was our last old water line we had in the system, and that's all been replaced. So that helped that area down there a bunch. And we're finding leaks. Y'all got an area too that y'all got where y'all got rocks. We've got 2 areas that, Rick, we're having an average leak once a month.
Yeah.
And we go fix it, then it goes on down. Some way we got line put in, it got put on straight rock. And if you're on, highway, was it up towards Hopper, the first 5 miles out that way, and Adcock Road, we need to get those lines replaced, because we fix it 20 foot down the street, next month we'll get another leak, and it's not a little leak. When that line breaks, it'll take 500,000 gallons of water before you get it turned off. It's breaking a 6-inch main, completely in 2, and it's splitting it. It's PVC pipe, it's basically the whole joint. Y'all had some of that, and it's no fun when it happens. Those guys, all the leaks, little leaks we've been, and some of them are pretty good leaks we fixed, but we still got leak problems. I'm gonna tell you we don't. We gotta get to work on it. I just done, with the staff I've had, we're doing a lot of work, but we need to get a lot more done. It'd be nice to just had people out there doing nothing but leak detection full time, because we've got, I know with North Pike County went in, y'all just checked your leaks from the meters back and found, we were trying to get that done, and we got, 150 meters checked, and found about 6 leaks. And we've got a lot of leaks on our service lines that you can't see, just like y'all did. We worked on it, we found several of them, we got those fixed. I just need to get a man back on it. Any other questions I can answer for y'all, or y'all have any questions out of us? If you need a sheet. All I'm saying on everybody signed in on that, that's just, I'm gonna put that in as a minutes with this right here for the year. Y'all will sign that. We're not gonna vote on anything unless there's something else we need to bring up. We've got expenditures that the council has to vote on, and we'll vote on a bunch of those tonight. If your name's not there, just make a line and put it there. We didn't know for sure all the time. If anyone ever asks on this, I'm gonna put these minutes in with the city council minutes. We have to have these somewhere, I don't have a spot to keep one set of minutes. If anybody ever asks me, I'm gonna put them in with the council minutes. And these go around all council minutes. Anybody in the audience have any questions on water and sewer?
Are y'all making a map of all this, kind of where you keep up with what you're doing?
On what part of it? All of,
Maybe find it.
the leaks, we know where they are. I can go out Adcock Road in the first 5 miles of Hopper. From Highway 8 up is where all the leaks are. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah,
Huh?
Don't forget Adam.
Oh, Adam.
Adam.
I have a problem with, you have a problem every now and then with a leak somewhere else, but it is not very often.
I think he was referring to a master plan, so down the road, someone comes up and they don't have you to ask or something, there's a master plan where the pipes are. And
All the mapping is logged in, every city employee we got can call up where, every foot of pipe that we know where is on Google Earth, and it's called up, and the valves that we know where are on Google Earth. As we're finding them, we're adding them. But that is all, I mean, that is all already there.
pass it this way.
You got that, I'll need to get your time copy. Will you please just get me a copy, please? Somebody get a copy. Y'all want a copy of this, or y'all need it for y'all's record? I don't-
Billy, just to clarify, in your statement a while ago, you said about paying it back. The American Rescue Fund, in Reed, we got a grant, so that's done. They threw away 80% of it. That's accurate.
That's correct. The 400,000 is not here yet.
Right. And this
Y'all
one
don't
got
vote
longer.
on approving that tonight. That project's already completed, and we have the money borrowed from the highway department.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to check the other, no one was accepted enough for my copy.
That's, what I was saying is that's $500,000 to the good, better than we thought we were going to
Yes. Well, 108,000 in water and 470,000. And since the bond issue has been redone, water and sewer money can be married together now. We're gonna keep it running separate, so you know what it is, because of the rate structure eventually. But the way the bond issue was set up, the water, the bonds, we had to do it to get the bond issue through, so we get the bonds redone. We didn't, so the bond money for water will be on the bond with natural resource, including the sewer money. None of the revenue for income in water and sewer is tied to anything. It will make the note payment on the sewer bill. The sales tax will make the note payment on all our water projects. That's the way it was restructured. We had to have it clean to get the money to move last year so we could get eligible for these jobs, and we didn't know what we could get, and that's what the attorney said do. So we'll do other paperwork as the bonds actually come in. The water bond will be a note to natural resource that the sales tax will pay. And the sewer work, the bond issue that will secure that will be the revenue from water and sewer, because there's nothing tied to water revenue, period, to pay any of our debt back. It's the sales tax. And the sales tax used to be tied to water and sewer, but to get it clean so it went forward, that's the way it had to be done. I need one in. Yes, ma'am.
On the lease we talked about, the putting normal stuff is not, those leases we're talking about are strictly the lease outside the city limits of Glenwood. You're saying that we can do a lease of strictly inside.
If Norman or North Pike County have a water leak, they're paying us for it, it's metered water.
I'm not asking that, but any of the ones you discussed, inside the city limits of Glenwood, or everything you discussed, totally outside the city limits.
Everything we discussed so far is basically inside the city limits. The leaks are outside, but not in Norman nor North Pike County's area. They're in the city of Glenwood. We have rural water outside the city limits of Glenwood, and the leaks are in our system. Okay? Any other discussion on the Act 605? If not, I appreciate you guys coming to us. If y'all have any questions from the city, let us know. Be happy to work with you. Y'all are welcome to go if y'all don't want to stay for the rest of the city council. Thank you guys for coming. Okay, we've already had a prayer and we've already had the pledge of allegiance. Roll call, please.
Roll call. Al Moore. Here. Chris Fuller.
Here.
Jimmy Cole.
Here.
Johnny Cox.
Here.
In intermobile meeting, we already, did that. Ann can't see it now. She said, could you please get me out so I can get home, so I didn't see, probably not get her when she get home. All right, July minutes, you have before you.
I really don't make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Al Moore. Here. Yes. Chris Fuller.
Yes.
Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Yes.
August, I was waiting for our paperwork back from AEQ. It never came, so I need y'all to approve the August minutes. We had no meetings, so it just says we have a meeting for August. And they're doing our record. We'll have a
Go back across.
We'll have a motion to accept that we didn't have a meeting in
I'll
August.
second that motion.
Have a second?
Yes.
Roll call?
Al Moore. Aye. Chris Fuller. Jimmy Clark.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Yes.
Got Pastor, one of you guys again, but please make copies of this. When I get 2 copies out of that, I'll start getting 2 copies.
Here, I got another one. You want to send it around?
Well, you just get a little copy of it. That should be both of them. All right, June financials are in front of you. Since we had a meeting last month, you got June and July financials in front of you. This is just a balance sheet of the money that's spent. We're gonna go in discussion about more with Jason here in a few minutes about where we're gonna be moving in the future, but this is money spent. So, everybody wanna do it. We are definitely running over expenses in sewer. Income's fine, we're not financially, we're not hurting, but we have spent more money in sewer than we budgeted. It's basically the only department we're running over in. Council, you got any big questions right now? Yeah, the maintenance has eaten us up on sewer this year. We've known it, we've been voting on it, it's about anything that hadn't hit us.
Well, we've been fixing a lot of 10 and 20 and 30-year stuff.
40-year-old roads.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, pumps, there's nothing anybody can do about a 40-year-old pump, it's just gonna wear out eventually. Gotta be replaced.
Are we fixing them in the house too?
Sir?
We got training contractors fixing them.
TJ Jenkins has been fixing them. The city's been buying the equipment, we've just been paying him the labor. That's a way cheaper way to go than bidding. And the council's been looking at that and approving all of his, we'll go through a bunch of his invoices tonight. I make a motion, I can't make a motion, I entertain a motion. We table the June and July balance sheet, and since we have a new recorder treasurer, he would like to go through this with us in our planning session. So, do I have a motion, we table the June financial statement?
I'm good with that. I'll make that motion.
And I second?
Table in June.
Tabling June.
No, we-
I'll second that.
I have a motion and a second, roll call please.
Al Moore. Jimmy Carr. Mike Carr.
Simply postpone for further study, right?
Well, there's money, yes, we're gonna try to understand, everybody wants to understand, and Mr. Lindeman's gonna go through this a lot more detail than we have before. Now that I need a motion to, postpone
I'll make
July's
that motion.
financial. Y'all wanna approve July, or y'all wanna postpone July's till?
So you're not gonna look at July too?
June and July.
Yeah.
But we didn't vote, but we need to do them 1 month at a time, so there's 2 years of space.
I'll make it work.
Second?
I got it, yeah.
We have a motion and a second, roll call please.
Al Moore. Aye. Chris Moore.
Aye.
Jimmy Carr.
Aye.
Johnny Carr.
Yes.
All right. As most of y'all know, we're having a problem, with our automatic meter reading system that's been in.
Hey, I just want to stop you on this, just to clarify, in case anybody's wondering, on this, the financials, it's money that's already spent, and then what I'm looking for, at least for myself and probably the rest of the council, is something that's out different than last year's norm. Yes. It's up exceedingly a bunch, or, something like that can call us on. So, it's not that we're just rubber stamping everything.
Okay. And we'll go over these and study these, give a little more time. I'd like to let you look at them in a planning session and bring them back toward the council and vote on them. If anybody wants to look at them, look at them, we'll get you a copy of it now if somebody wants to look at it. It's not, we're not hiding anything. It's just been a lot of work going on with it too. Now then, with census, the people that do our automatic metering stuff, through Core and Main is the company you have to buy that product through. We're having to spend, Brett, I don't think I'm wrong, say we're spending 60 hours a month reading water meter bills, because it's not picking up about 200 of the meters, and there's problems. Date certain, I don't remember what date it was, the system crashed and has not come back on reading some of our meters. Ford Main has done a search of the, you have 2 servers at one at Mary Street Tank and one at Industrial Park that pulls all that information in. And they have said nothing's wrong that they can find in those servers. They think it's something to do with the, well, no, cable that goes up and the antenna's on top of the tank. And there's some kind of a jumper, change out top jumper. I don't know what a top jumper is, but anyway, they say this is the next phase of stuff that needs to be done. This is the bid they come out and do it all, or you can give them the coax and the antennas have been up for 15 years and have never had anything done to it. We're probably getting close to the life cycle end of our computer, the servers, but they're fine right now. You can change the cable out and something that can be done again on the road. This is changed out. If they come down and they don't have to change out but one jumper, it's $650. If they have to change out, it's got the individual items there. But on the antennas, if you don't have them bring the antennas, an antenna pay for another service call out. So if they did all of the work and put all the new stuff in, it's $34,799. There's no place to go other than Ford Brand. Get the stuff. Everybody's gonna agree that Ford has checked it. The young sensors that checked it, their service got fixed and one out. I didn't know what the wages of the city. Spending 60 hours a month here, they're supposed to put them in for.
They verify with you whether it's gonna cost us another $46.50 when they come back down, if it was just one antenna or two antennas.
It's let them put all of new on.
And if they come down and put, the only thing we can't get is the antennas, but anything else they don't use, we won't be billed for?
We can just want it put on when they get here, that would be correct.
This is
We can order the antennas, they're $5,700,
Yeah.
$550 a piece. You can order those, if they don't use them, you can put them back in storage.
Correct.
Or if you get them to put all of the coax and everything on, it would be that, or if they don't, if you want them to just put on what's out, but you're also doing with coax cable been hanging on the side of the tank.
Well, this is of everything.
That's with everything.
This is over my head, I'm voting with Chris.
This is not something I like. I don't have. Be for what? And pay for the antennas, if you didn't want to pay for the coax if it wasn't out, and the jumpers if it wasn't out, and the bottom jumpers if they weren't out, they replace just the out pieces. But if you don't buy the antenna, they can't bring an antenna because it's not, nobody else has got our frequency to blend with. So they'd have to bring the antenna, or if you have an antenna out, they would have to, they're going to rebill you for the $150. Or do it all, or tell me how you want it done, so I know what to tell them.
Well, I'm all for changing the cable out. I don't have a problem agreeing to that when we do it.
If they're changing the cable out and you don't have to buy the antennas, you might as well do it.
If you don't pay for, if you leave the antennas alone and hopefully you don't need them, you're gonna save yourself $11,500. But if you don't, you're gonna cost yourself,
They're going to come back out.
you're gonna cost yourself, $15,000,
Plus 46.
Plus the fleet.
actually $16,150.
Mm-hmm.
So,
We
but
have any trouble in the future, they're gonna blame it on the antenna probably on flat.
I think myself personally, been paying you guys maintenance for years. The sad part about it is,
They went way down on what they're making.
Yeah.
And now they're saying it's not covered on the maintenance. But they have gone down on what the city was being charged for them. You got to manually read them and manual read system.
what, It doesn't guarantee.
See what else can be, because he said the,
So send a signal out,
you
right?
have two antennas.
You got one.
And the antenna will, the way the system's set up, antenna meter, if it's the strongest read, if it can't
That's what
read,
I'm
it goes to
thinking
the
about.
second antenna
Then bounce it.
and forward. And so this is, if it can't read, and it reads 4 times an hour and sends a signal, if it can't read, it changes it.
I got you. So
The
it's,
data's not lost. Leak detection, somebody's got a leak, we can't see the
Brent, what
leak.
side of town are the meters out on? Is it all over or what?
It's all in spots.
Tell me where.
You'll lose, it goes random. I mean, you may lose 70, you may lose right here in town. They just jump. But when it does jump, it's a whole area. When it sends out in localized form, like that. And it's like it will skip a whole section.
And in the data, this happened on, I don't know what day it was, you have to go back and look, but census can tell you, on this day, the problem started. And it's been there ever since. But because the meters can, one tower won't read the whole town, but you know, if that tower can't pick it up, the other one's trying to pick up signal, and so that maybe you may have a complete tower down and don't know it.
well, yeah, because if this one can't read it and this one does, and it can't send it back to this one to get back here.
And
so that
then
gets
next
it wrong.
month, it may get that area, this is, but anyway,
But you have no problem reading it when you go out manually?
No.
With the-
No, they're there, you can handle it.
So the
once you
meters
got
are
it with a
reading.
hand read, it brings all the information in it, and you'd say, oh, I had a leak at Flowers and didn't call him, because we wouldn't get the reading, and it'll tell you, when the leak started, brings all the data, we go out and hand read, or actually not hand read, it's drive
Not
by.
necessarily
They're
hand
driving,
reading
right.
the meters, you're
We're
driving
driving
by
by.
what you're doing. When it says hand read,
It's
you're
basically-
actually driving by with a handheld.
And the information there.
So, yes,
Yes,
you have
ma'am. It's
30
in the
days.
meters.
You have 30 days. The meter will hold 30 days.
So who gives a recommendation for this equipment, Mayor?
Core Main, which is the census. This is from census, this is what their people say is the next phase to get it back working. And they said both of we're technically at our life cycle on the CPUs out there, but they're working fine.
When this was put in 2008,
Brenda was at 8, about 2008, yeah.
and that coax has been with static electricity and everything in the air for,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Billy, why is it taking 60 hours to go by and drive by these
But
meters?
by the time they're still not picking them all up on a handheld, they have to go back 2 or 3 times.
It's not doing drive-by in town.
Why would you not?
You
Why would you
well, you
not?
manually,
do
because
that?
if it's on the tire to be read, the only thing we're doing drive-by on is the drive-by route that we have, Hopper. And we've lost the read on Kennedy, not on Kennedy, on, Grant, they're having drive-by at Grant, because it's lost completely, that whole area is lost, so the drive-by and that, the in-town meter division will have to manually go read.
Why?
Well, you can't start a new drive-by on the
Throw
whole
all
route.
them meters that didn't read into their own route and then drive by and read. You can do that for this system. There's no point in not doing it. Think, save you a lot of time, save us a lot of money. What I do? All right, so, to be honest with you, it does sound like it's not just a cable problem, but it's an antenna problem at the same time. So my suggestion is, take it or leave it, so I'm just one person. Buy one antenna. Don't buy 2. Take a chance on it, 'cause it sounds like you've got an antenna and a cable problem. I don't know that 100%, but you're better off taking a chance on one and still saving yourself close to $6,000 than it is spending
and
$16,000.
just hope one, he can,
One's gotta be reading, so you're
Yes.
getting some of the signals, so. we're
will he be
getting-
able to tell which one it is?
Huh?
You'll be able to tell which one is
Well,
bad?
they'll know when they come check it, because that's what they're here for. They'll line the tires,
It may not be the best
they'll take the
investment,
coax
but-
loose, check the
I mean,
antenna,
y'all take
then
the
check
risk.
the cable, then check whatever these top
Top
jumpers
jumpers?
are and bottom jumpers are. I'm not sure what those are. I don't know this stuff.
Probably a tie-in thing.
Y'all just need to tell me how you want to proceed, because I'm not going to. And he said it's possible there could be something else, but they don't know what it could be.
And all the other stuff can be returned if he doesn't use it.
If that's what, if you don't want it put in, yes.
Yes.
he wouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, if
All
he-
the other stuff.
There's no sense in not changing out that coax.
Well, I understand the
I mean,
coax.
that's 2008 it's been in there.
All this has been in since then, but
So
yes.
there's no point in not changing that out.
I think, I mean, that's a good idea, I think, but
You take $5,750 plus the tax out, you just order one antenna, right? So that'd be 39,000 roughly. Not 29,000.
I was fixing-
29,000, I'm going up.
You're
you're going up.
You've been-
29,000.
You've been in government too long, man.
Yeah.
I mean, like Chris said, I feel it's reading somewhere. What do you think?
No, I agree with Chris on that 100%, as long as they can diagnose a bad antenna when they get here.
They'll be able to do that. And we know we got one antenna working. I don't know what, if the other one's out, I don't mind that. Y'all's motion, boys. Chris, did you put that form of motion, what do you want to do? Okay. Chris' motion is to tell them to do everything but, and bring one antenna, right? You want everything else replaced or not replaced?
I would. I mean, there's no point in not.
Replace everything but one antenna.
I mean, it's all 16 years old.
In order one new antenna, you take $5,750 plus 10% sales tax off of that, five. I have a motion to that, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Roll call, please.
Alan Moore. Aye. Chris Coyle.
Aye.
Tim Cross.
Yes.
Johnny Cox.
Yes.
Okay. Now, a couple of months ago, we looked at, y'all wanting a generator, and this is not in budget either, guys. If y'all spend this money, it will come out of reserves, it's not in budget. Y'all looked at a generator for the new building over there. We don't have a generator over there, we don't have gas, natural gas lines over there, but everything over there is all electric. You have to put gas in and put a, generator in.
Gas is there, we just gotta run it to the other side of the
Well,
building.
this bid, I think, has got, this bid is him doing electric line around the building, hook it up. And setting the generator on the end where the gas is. That's the way this bid is.
What's cheaper, running the gas line over the other side or him hooking the electricity up?
That's a good question, because I don't, you gotta cut under the concrete in two spots.
If you use it.
We now have, now when it wasn't an optional thing to do, but now we've got the trees cut.
I would rather know that price than to vote on this tonight. That's just my honest opinion.
Okay, so our options.
Electric or gas?
This is the one we talked about last week, their options are what, electric or gas?
But we gotta see how much it's gonna get to get.
Most likely, if we lose the electric grid, that would give us another grid.
No, the gas is on one end of the building. If you set the generator on the end of the building that the gas is on, you gotta run an electrical line over to where the electric comes
You
in.
said on the other side, then you gotta
You gotta run a
run gas.
gas line over to the other.
What side are you looking at putting it?
Well, the gas is on the end down towards Highway 8. The electric's up on this end. And he's priced it to, this price is him doing it all turnkey, and he'd run electric line from that end
All the way around.
all the way around.
Well, you know the electrical line ain't cheap.
Well, you gotta get a gas line bored in.
Yeah, you have to bore on the slabs.
You gotta either run a gas line or you gotta run an electric line. I don't think it's gonna be that much difference one way or the other.
Is he gonna have to bore the electric?
No, it'll be on the side of the building. It'll be overhead on the side of the building. This is not in budget, so you will go over on the budget this year with this expense right here. Nothing was looked at for this. You can do it. Go down the street, I mean, out of water and sewer, the way everything's set up. It's up to y'all.
There's no doubt in my mind we need a generator there, but at the same time, I'd rather know wherever,
I make a motion we table it and find out the exacts on that, what you think out there, and we move forward or not.
Second that.
Table that. Okay, there's been some,
We need to
Yeah,
vote.
we gotta vote.
We gotta
oh,
vote.
vote on table then, okay, I need a motion to
He-
vote on
he
table the
seconded.
generator.
Aye.
Yes.
Okay. Next thing is, discussion only. Glenwood Economic Development, number, Sharon, when you were mayor, was that 3 or 4? What was that? 3?
When we had,
Glenwood Economic Development, number 3, okay? Y'all did the industrial park, and the first purchaser of land over there was, what is Del Mesa today? All right, it's Diamond Lakes, it's Del Mesa then, right? Diamond Lakes today. They purchased 10 acres of land. I've had a phone call, and in the meeting, it was corporate number 2.
it says number 2 on the.
Yeah, it says number 2, so it's number 2. This was agreed upon in the city council meeting, I gave y'all a copy of it. That land, in the city got AIDC grants for economic development over there, and that land is supposed to be sold for nothing but commercial. The real estate broker has, the 5 acres that Shug Morris's family has, that he used to work for Del Mesa, I guess. And he got the 5 acres where the feed mill was supposed to be behind him. And they're wanting to sell it for residents. And I have told them, no, it's in the city council minutes, but it did not hit the deed. It was supposed to then put a deed restriction, and it's not in the deed. What does the council want me to tell them how they can sell that land?
What's gonna supersede the deed, or
These open the door on the land,
is that right there?
Well,
Can we get legal advice on it?
if it's not a deed restriction, I'm afraid the city hasn't got much to stand on, other than we would like it not to be sold, tell them we would like it not to be sold, the council would like it not to be sold, anything but industry.
maybe we'd ask them what it would take to purchase that.
There again, in the minutes right here, there's no profit to be made on it. It's gotta be sold back to the city at the price it was sold them for originally, but that's in the minutes, not in the deed restriction. The easements are in the deed restriction. It says that if you don't take it for economic development, then the city would buy it back for the price it was originally sold to them for, which I'd have to go back and look, it's in the paperwork over there. I think it was, $4,200 an acre, I think, but don't quote me on that, but in the,
But would it not be worth getting a price from them and then let Dustin look at it and see which way we need to go with it?
whatever y'all's direction you want to go is what you need to tell me what you want to do. I have this, but I also have the deeds, and the deed is not in the deed restriction. If y'all look at those, they're over there in the office.
I'm gonna say let legal look at it, because I mean, We
It's
want-
gonna be over, I'm with Jimmy on that.
I don't
That's
want-
over my
I
head,
Yeah.
I
think the
mean,
deed is gonna supersede everything.
I would have, yeah, that's what I would imagine, but.
Okay, make a motion on what you want me to do, so I know what to do.
also, when you did the industrial park in the 80s, it was really the first industrial park. We got the line across the river for the sewer, and we were gonna be able to develop that. Then we got those women from Amity and the Bank of Amity, Glenwood, with 4 banks going in. So I'm just saying, that first industrial park, industrial park number 1 wasn't there until then, and things have happened since. And we, of course, we didn't bring that for development. But I'm just saying, when you look back there, you need to be looking at number 1, not number 2.
That's number 2 is what it is. Because I
Number
don't know
two.
what number 1 was, but it's number 2 is according, I've got the book over there.
According to what y'all's minutes deal
And
with.
number two says in here. But anyway, y'all tell me what you wanna, which way you want me to take this.
I make a motion, we get legal advice on it.
I'll second that.
I'm getting off this board because there ain't the one living surviving member.
What is that?
We will listen, they keep driving, or otherwise, and then go with flying back to the
I think this is just the ones that attended that meeting. I don't
Yes.
think that was the whole board.
Sonny
This is the
Prince.
one that, I've got the whole board over there. This is just the ones that attended that meeting. Barry Walker took a building back commercial and built it back commercial, and then he moved in it, but the building is built back commercial. And it will be sold commercial when it's sold, if I can push it. I don't think anybody's gonna wanna buy that for residents. I hope I got it issued for, anyway. Okay? All right. He's got, it's a 10-acre plot that 5 acres sold off, and there's 5 acres that the family has. The 5 acres is still sitting there where, Diamond Lake, or whichever what, Diamond Lakes, is that what's called now, is running today. They're on 5 acres, and it's the 5 acres behind that that's the place. And then the city's got behind the house, the city's still got 2.8 acres. And they got some other land up there, behind the, when you go in, turn to the right. It's not acres out exactly, but there's still probably 4 or 5 acres up there by rural, where the rural track was in there. So the city still has a little bit of land to sell over there, if somebody wanted it. All right? You vote on that?
Yeah.
You vote on it? Roll call. Okay. Who wants to read ordinance 2401, please?
You want me to, I guess?
That's right.
Ordinance to make the flash. In order to make the city of Little Rock, County, Arkansas, to make purchase of provide service from business owner by member, directly and indirectly declared emergency across the board. County of City of Glenwood, Rock County, Arkansas, to provide such human service directly and indirectly from business owned by city. Treasurer recorder specifically Jason Wonderman, and whereas the city of Glenwood is continuously and routinely in need of all bookkeeping service for the operation of the city of Glenwood Department, the Glenwood Water and Sewer Department, and whereas the city of Glenwood is purchasing trust services from Lebanon County and tax service in Louisville, County, Arkansas, on the operation of the minimum Louisville treasurer, recorder, and the rest of the determined in the best interest of the city of Glenwood to allow the purchase of such bookkeeping services from this county, tax service in Louisville, County, Arkansas, now therefore be ordained in the city council of Glenwood. Section 1, from after the state of the first point four, the city of Glenwood, Arkansas, such as authorizing and hiring to provide bookkeeping service on behalf of the city of Glenwood, and minimum bookkeeping tax service owned and operated by Jason Wonderman, city treasurer, recorded for such one service as need. From said limited account and tax service, such to all orders and partial orders herewith are hereby repealed from the declaration of any parties ordinance shall be null and void, shall not serve, the ordinance in any part of the ordinance. Section 3 is necessary for the efficient operation of the city of Glenwood, Arkansas, that this ordinance become effective upon passage in publication, therefore emergency is declared to exist as ordinance being necessary for the preservation of public peace, health, and safety, shall be enforced and effect from after the passage of publication of the city of Glenwood, passed on Thursday, 16th day of September 24. Yeah.
Do I have a motion to accept the first reading of ordinance 2401?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Yes, sir.
Roll call.
Aye.
Do I have a motion to enter, I entertain a motion for the short reading of ordinance 2401?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second it.
Just a short reading, please.
I'm not sure.
Right to there.
Okay. Ordinance to the city of Glenwood, County, Arkansas, to make purchase, provide service, and business owned by members, directly and indirectly, declare all emergency for other purposes. emergency would be starting in November, correct?
We're gonna vote on that later on in the meeting. Do I have a motion to accept the short reading of ordinance 2401?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Yes.
Yes.
I entertain a motion for the third reading of ordinance 2401 in short form.
I'll make that motion.
You can make the motion, have a second? Roll call?
Johnny Cox?
Yes.
Yes. Excuse me there.
All right, ordinance 2401, the ordinance of the city of Glenwood, Blackwater, Arkansas, to make purchase of right service from this owner owned by member director and director declaring emergency of the
Do I have a motion to accept the third reading, short form of ordinance 2401?
Yes.
Second motion. That's the same thing.
I second.
Motion and second, roll call please.
Yes.
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 Okay. The next motion is an ordinance that was supposedly passed, we found where it's passed in Ron, and Ron was mayor, Sharon was.
February of 27.
Okay, Ron was mayor, Sharon was recorded treasurer. We find the signed minutes. We need to have a signed ordinance.
Thank you.
This is just, according to the, accountant, the auditor, they want the, minutes put back in, read and put back in place. So that's, if y'all don't like the amount, then we're gonna do the amount, this is what was in the ordinance done back then. And the city does not have they have signed minutes where it was approved, but do not have a signed ordinance. So this is record keeping, cleaning up what was done in 81 or whatever it was, 82. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Clark, out of respect for Councilman Cox and Jason Linderman, I believe that the city council needs to table this for the next meeting, because, you know, I saw all the minutes and everything related to ordinance 1703. It was the first meeting when I came in to be elected, recorded treasurer. And, Joe May was here at that point, really only Joe and, I guess, Joe and Chris and Bill and I, who people here, were aware of this situation. But there were three things put in that ordinance. And you know, an ordinance like the dog ordinance, the noise ordinance, whatever, it's one thing. Three things were hurriedly put in there. And one of them was, the idea, and that's what we did, that, Ron was very sick in the hospital most of the time. And so what it said was that, the mayor or his designated did could spend up to $20,000, and that it was in, state regulations that could be done by a mayor. But if you call, and it is, you call Mount Ida, you call any small towns, the 205 small towns in 2,000, they're very cautious about that. Because, you know, your men who are trying hard to make things better for your community. So if a mayor can spend $18,000 on this and not call them, $10,000 on this, $15,000 on that, it's not really the council, it's the community. But what I'm asking is, if you don't mind, I think it would be fair, it's an ordinance. So in normal city council meetings in other towns, you go, here's a proposed ordinance, we'll get reaction from citizens on this, and we will discuss this at the next meeting. Y'all's planning session was Friday night. Nobody knew about this. Y'all didn't have the packet of information on it. And now tonight we're looking at it and we're saying, okay, I mean, you know, I love this. That's what the Lord is doing. It's not about whether or not you want to do would, I can appreciate that y'all are busy and you get lots of calls and you don't want to be bothered with it, it's also why I'm here. And I think it would be a positive. if
He calls us
citizens
on
would
almost
weigh in.
everything, Sharon.
I know that the other night on the planning session, you said 20,000 was fine, that way y'all wouldn't get as many calls, it's on the page.
Yeah, but the premise that we've operated under, the whole time I've been here, at least, almost 4 years, is $20,000, but, Billy has been good to call us on $3,000 stuff, 2,000, 4,000. He's called us on every equipment purchase, every single thing that was getting, and we talked about last week, but
No, you talked about planning session, you didn't talk about the city council.
I didn't say we talked about it, city council, I said we talked about it last week. And we talked about it in times past too, because, this was something we had on the agenda when Big T was mayor also. And, me personally, I'm not ever gonna vote in favor of reducing the 20,000, so what are we gonna gain by tabling it, would be my question.
The,
The other council members out there, council.
guys,
Of course they do.
let me say this. I don't care what you give the mayor spending limit to tonight. I don't care if it's $500. The state auditor wants an ordinance on the books giving the mayor the authority to spend something. You can change that 20,000 to whatever you want, but the ordinance needs to be done tonight because I promised the state auditor I would have them a copy of it as quick as it runs in the paper next week. I could care less what you put in the spending limit. If y'all wanna change that from 20,000 is what was in there that she looked at as an auditor. I have nothing to do with it. I'm trying to get the auditor where state auditors are happy with us and they want what the mayor's spending limit is, set in an ordinance and put on file then. I could care less what amount it is. If y'all don't like the 20,000, put it 500. I don't care. But it's gotta be for the auditor, and they want it now because it's been brought to their attention by some citizens of Glenwood, and it's not on file up there, and they want it on file. So, we don't need to wait a month. The amount, do what you want to with it, but do some ordinance, and if you wanna put it $500, I'm fine with it, $500. And then if you wanna adjust it later on, change the ordinance. But you need to do something because I just had an exit on it with the auditor last week, and she wants this done now.
So it's, that's the other thing that's going on, Mayor, is the council needs to see the audit report, the citizens need to see the audit report.
Sharon, I'll give you the audit report when it comes out. The Eckstein audit, we don't have, she brought the paperwork back, and the Eckstein audit I will bring to the first meeting. It has to be read in the minutes. That is not a problem. It will be there. Whatever's in that report will be there when it comes. There's not a problem with that. We don't have that yet. The Eckstein audit, she just says, here's the findings, and it will come officially to you. Jason was sitting in there on that, and she asked that we do that and get that to her, and she asked that we do, we got some SCBA's, the fire department, that evidently the serial number on some of the hoses got put down for the serial numbers, and I've got to get individual serial tags on some SBA units. And we're not writing this up on either one of them as long as we'll get it done and get the paperwork back to her. She said these are both stupid things because we have a serial number on SCBA, but the serial number is a hose number on the SCBA. So we're gonna have to make a tag up, y'all gonna have to prove me to put serial number 1 on that air tank. And I've got to get, the fire department's got to get that back to me so we can get that done too. But this you want done.
What do you need to move forward on? How about, Sharon,
I need
I
you
know
to-
what you're saying.
I need you to vote on this ordinance, but if you don't like the $20,000, put the mayor at $500. I'm fine with,
Billy, I think 10,000 would be just about.
To be
right.
honest with you, I don't think it really matters as long as you put a clause in, a little clause in there that states that you can spend $20,000 if you want to, upon the approval of your council members, and that could be by phone, it could be by meeting, it could be by whatever you want to do. Won't you just put it in there that way? It don't matter if it's 500, no matter if it's 10,000, no matter if it's 20,000. It's not like you don't call us on everything you do anyway, don't really matter.
20,000 don't buy very much in today's world, but
20,000 will buy you won't even buy you one pump for Wright's pump station right now. Won't buy you one if it goes out.
Y'all are still doing this, not private business.
Do what?
I said, but it's city business, not private
And
business.
guys, like I said,
I agree
Correct.
with you, Bill. I'm not arguing.
do whatever limit you wanna do, but
I'll
do the
do
ordinance
20,000,
tonight,
make a
please.
motion to
If
go
you don't
down.
like the 20,000.
I'd
leave
rather,
the 20,000.
I say put the clause in there that says
But do we
upon
have to go
approval.
back and retype it before we vote on it to do that?
Well, you're gonna have to do that anyway if you change it from 20 to 10 or
We
5
got
to
that in the
$5.
doctrine
It don't
initially.
matter.
Say, can we not just do it as the business went on?
Mayor, how long has that been on there? When we just enacted the-
It was done when Ron
2017.
and Sharon were there, and the signed minutes,
What year was it?
17.
Has it ever been used?
No.
Is what's supposed to be given?
All we're doing right now is doing what the city has been doing
Yeah. thank you.
with, since the last 3 mayors have been here. Because that's what we thought was voted on. It was voted on. It was approved by the council. You're not asking to do anything other than, I've got minutes signed on that. I've got the ordinance, but I don't have, there's not signed copies of the ordinance. The ordinance is there. And it does have other things in it restricting the recorder treasurer's job. This is just addressing the mayor part of it. That other, I guess, goes away because it's not found, she's not assuming it's a good ordinance. They're assuming it's a good ordinance right now because the council all signed it in the minutes. It's in the minutes. The ordinance didn't sign it. It's kind of
What do you
crazy
need
to
from
sign
us
minutes,
tonight,
but
Billy?
you don't have a signed ordinance.
I make a motion to approve this as presented, just for the second time, but I'm with Chris on the other, but we do that anyway, so it really.
Yeah, but if you put it in there, you don't have to worry about it. You
Yeah.
still-
You're gonna continue doing it the way you've been doing it, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's like
Billy
the
calls us
invoice.
all, but put pen to paper.
What do you want J to be? We can handwrite J in there, and she can retype it, but y'all can initial the handwritten J. If y'all want to add something to the ordinance, it would be J.
It's verbal.
You would need at least 3 out of 4 of us to just call us. He calls every one of us anyway,
How
before he does
you-
anything. He's called me at 11 o'clock at night.
Ever how you want H, the other part of this
5 o'clock in
ordinance
the
to
morning.
read, state it, and Jason will write it in right. Type that from what's initial in, and that'll be the typewritten and the handwritten copy. Anyway, if y'all are interested in this, this is what brought up, all the other Whatever it is, well, it's all how you work